and a warm welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Hishain Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. Election Commission stresses on the 3 guidelines to be followed by the voters. COVID-19 is not even close to being over, World Health Organization warns. News in detail. Chairman of the National Election Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, says that wearing a mask, using the sanitizer or washing the hands and maintaining the 1 meter distance are the 3 main guidelines that should be followed by the voters at the polling centre. He made these clarifications briefing the media this afternoon at the National Election Commission premises in Colombo.
Nilla Chanda Denneem Patrika. Chanda is your Tiene Kotanada, Kavada, Obe Nama, Obe Pilolanka, Sa Chanda Pola, Kiela Tiena, Denneem Patrika Vatamai, Nilla Chanda Denneem Patrika. Eke Samara Velavata, Name Veradi Tiena Pulua. Samalada Stri Purchaba Perdiladi. Handru Patan Cat Perdiladino. Namut Eva Chande de Mimata Bada Neve. Eka Bayanatu Yana, Ekape Karimanle Terum Maragana Janata Kiani. Chande Dana Pulu. May Chanda Pana Hadaladine, Chanda Patrika Nodi in a neve. Chanda Patrika Nodi in a Pulan Karnotuna Pulu. Ekak, Pote Namanata within the Manani. Namatina Ganuda Nodine. Ea Walangu Handum Pata Kidribat Kari Netta. Emanetta, Angilla Patakarana Netta. Angilla Penue Netta. Angilla Patakarla Purana. Ea Chanda Patria, Labagana Yadimikavane. Anik Karnotamai. Jesta Chandastana Divatiraki, Prakashapatra Purola de Nagela. Eka Purola do Netam. E Chanda Patrika Nodina Bulo. Have I Hora Chanda Dan Bay?
Chairman of the National Election Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, says that not a single threat, attack or major violation against election rules have been reported so far. In the meantime, briefing the media over the preparations for the forthcoming general elections due on the 5th of August, Commission Chairman also said that they have not yet decided on extending the voting time.
Meti Amativur, Hitapu, Ngakari, then Amatadura Nodarana, Hitapu, Samar, Amateur, Tamang Satu, Martu, Devanida, Tunganida, Bardi to Wan, Langata Baganindala. It was saved at Batuna, Martu Masiki, Langatiang in an Chandava, Laxat din no Nikela, Laxet, Nogeva, Pasavi, May Masiki, Himatiag and the Bear, Jamatur, Gatiak, then Nagela, Taumat Tiagin in 9, Eva, Atanan Godagan, Wana, Pahakata Vedi Sankava, Atan Godagan, Yalabiladin, E Atanan Godaragano, Puno, Etuman La, Ansi Trimata, Tiena Vasia, Vedi, Raje Depala. භාවිතා කිරි වෙනද තරම් ෆැමිලි නෑ තර්ජනය කළා ගැහුවා මැරුවා ඒක ඇත්තෙම නෑ අපි තාම සතුටු වෙනවා මැතිවරණ ප්‍රචණ්ඩ ක්‍රියා නැතිවීම ගැන හැබැයි බොරු තොරතුරු ප්‍රචාරණය සමාජ ජාල හරහා සමාජවල විද්‍යුත් මාධ්‍ය සහ පුවත්පත් හරහා දුස්තොරතුරු කියලා જાතියක් ප්‍රචාරය වෙයි තමුන්නාන්තලත් පුළුවන් තොරතුරු තියෙනවා නම් අප වෙත දැනුම් දෙන්න අපේ හැම විටම තියෙන අංකය තියෙනවා 0.71 91 60,000 WhatsApp පරි Viber app වලින් හරි ඕනම වෙලාවක එන්න පුළුවන්.
Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate retired Rear Admiral Sarath Weerasekara stresses that Sri Lanka should have a national trade policy which prioritizes self-sufficiency and uplift local production. Retired Rear Admiral Sarath Weerasekara made these observations addressing a media briefing held in Colombo yesterday.
In a situation like this, I think we can't hereafter rely 100% on foreign countries. We have to have our own economic policy. That own economic policy should be self-oriented, and we are having enough resources to get ourselves back on our feet again. And so that means we must have self-sufficiency in food items, and also about our national security. We must have a very good plan to have our national security back again.
Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break. after the break. Global expert of emerging markets and founder of Mobius Capital Partners, Dr. Mark Mobius stresses that he is positive that global tourism industry will pick up soon. Joining an online discussion, he further stated that Sri Lanka should emphasize on higher-end tourism and not mass tourism, since higher-end tourism will be very profitable for the country.
Global tourism will recover rather quickly by the end of the year. This year, I believe you'll see global tourism picking up quite remarkably. And I think in Sri Lanka, you'll see more people coming in and the recovery will be well underway. And the reason why I say that is because, as I mentioned, people are really fed up with the lockdowns. They want to get out, they want to travel. Yes, it's true, the internet has now provided a way for people to communicate and to have meetings online, but people really want to get offline and get into the places they want to visit. So I believe you're going to see a big recovery in tourism, in the airline industry, in the ship tour industry, and so forth. People want to travel. Now, in the case of Sri Lanka, what I believe they have to do, they have to specialize. So in other words, you have tourism, but you want to emphasize a higher end tourism, not mass tourism. And this can be very, very profitable at the end of the day.
Moreover, global expert on emerging markets Dr. Mark Mobius highlighted that Sri Lanka should first look at its domestic market, then look at exports while specialize on its services and goods.
Well, I think in the case of Sri Lanka, first of all, you've got to look at the domestic market. You've got, 20-odd million people who need services, need garments, need food, et cetera, So I think the emphasis should be, first of all, on meeting the domestic demands. In other words, increasing production to meet domestic requirements. The second area, of course, is export, the tea exports and the service export, software development and also tourism. You have to look at tourism as a sort of software export because you're servicing people coming into the country. That I don't think will diminish. A lot of people think that there's going to be an end of globalization. I don't think so. Simply because the incredible impact of the internet means that people can now communicate around the world at an instant. And this generates trade. It generates tourism because people want to visit, want to meet, so forth. So I think the lockdown is temporary. It will end and we will see a pickup in these services and so forth. Now, in the case of Sri Lanka, what I believe they have to do, they have to specialize. For example, children's garments are a very specialized kind of product, which Sri Lanka could easily capture. So that's what I would do. I would say, look, let's pinpoint those areas where we can really add value and then specialize in those.
World Health Organization warns that the worst of the COVID-19 pandemic is yet to come. Addressing the COVID-19 press briefing held yesterday, WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus claimed that the spread of the virus is actually speeding up despite lockdowns being loosened around the world.
The critical question that all countries will face in the coming months is how to live with this virus. That is the new normal. Many countries have implemented unprecedented measures to suppress transmission and save lives. These measures have been successful in slowing the spread of the virus, but they have not completely stopped it. Some countries are now experiencing a resurgence of cases as they start to reopen their economies and societies. Most people remain susceptible. The virus still has a lot of room to move. We all want this to be over. We all want to get on with our lives. But the hard reality is this is not even close to being over. Although many countries have made some progress, globally, the pandemic is actually speeding up. We're all in this together.
Stay tuned for stock updates. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The All Share Price Index dropped 4.20 points to close at 5,149.57, and the S&P SL 20 dropped 8.55 points to close at 2,268.77. The turnover was 2.2 billion rupees and over 42 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. And that's all news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care. Good night.